Good morning to you, our audience. Ted and Ed TV channel welcome each of you to our weekly Saturday broadcast where we give insightful views on economic, political, world, and environmental issues concerning how money connects those matters. Our hosts, Mr. Ted Harvey Sr. and Mr. Edward Bishop III, are now taking each of you into our world of money and its value, along with the evils that come from the greed of hoarding financial power. He that controls the gold controls the important decisions in this world.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Money Connection. Good morning, Ed. How are you?
Oh, Ted, I'm doing great this morning, and how are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, and I know we haven't been very active here on our Ted and Ed TV channel here for the last couple of weeks, but we're still here, and we're still going to be going strong. And happy belated New Year to everyone. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully everybody else out there is doing well. And for 2018, we got a wealth of new things that's coming on board here. And we're hoping that our audience and stuff continues to follow us and understand that we are out here to help them, to give solutions for problems that's going on out there in this country. And Ted, there's a whole lot of stuff going on out there.
There's so much stuff going on, man. It's just, you can't hardly even keep up. I mean, we're going to be talking about some things that really, I think, will open some eyes of some people. And one of the things is that we're going to be talking about the collusion with the Russians and the NRA. We're going to be talking about inside trading because that's something that the people need to be looking out for. And then over here and over there, our segment on that, we're going to talk a little bit about Syria. And of course, we have to talk about the media and our economy and what is really going on and who gets the credit. And we might touch on a little bit about the DNC and what's going on with that as well. And one of the things that I want to talk about just from Jump Street, I mentioned it earlier, the NRA had contributed about $50 million to the 45 campaign. Now, my information that I've gotten saying that Russia had put in a whole lot of millions of dollars into the NRA to feed them so that they can help the 45 campaign. Now, I don't know, I haven't gotten the figure of how much money these Russian oligarchs, have put in to help the NRA. But the one thing that you have to realize is that they're going to be investigated. The NRA will be investigated. So I think that, it's almost like they have their hand, the Russians have their hand in everything. Real estate. They have their hand in the stock market. They have their hands in the NRA. They have their hands in almost anything, the media. So it's almost like we're being taken over by the Russians, to be quite honest with you. I mean, everywhere you look, it's they have come over here and just, because they got billions and billions of dollars to invest in everything. They can buy up anything. They can buy up small radio stations and what have you, because a lot of them are Americans. And then, they're helping Putin to do what he wants to do, is destroy democracy and our republic. So I don't know where the white hats are. We know that Mulder is doing everything that he can, and you got some honest officials out there, the FBI, and all of those types of people that are really concerned about what's going on. But to me, I don't see any urgency. We have a 2018 election coming up, and no one's talking about stopping all of this chaos that's out there. That's it used to be they just take them out, and they see people infiltrating our government or doing different things, they sort of kind of do that. But now there's so much money being flowed around there, people can be bought off. You give a person a couple $1 million, man, hey, they'll pretty much sell their soul, you know, just for a couple $1 million, and hang the American people, you know, because most of the American people, 60% of the American people are living just okay. They're fine with it because they got their jobs, they got their little houses, their little 2 cars, and what have you. So I'm trying to figure out what is our leaders going to do and keep all of these people that are attacking our economy, they're attacking our way of life, they're attacking our voting systems. What are they going to do? And no one's talking about it. The media is not talking about it. And it's crazy. I don't know. I have no answers, and I know that there are people. I mean, I've heard Sessions say that they asked them and say, well, are you doing anything to try to stop this cyber attacks and people doing all kinds of things to try to attack this country? No. So what are we going to do? What can we do? I don't know, because they are in charge.
Well, Ted, I've been listening to you for a little bit here, and I have a few ideas that I wanted to interject here. And you're right, we have foreigners and stuff who are coming over into our country and trying to control our democracy. And you have a lot of entities and stuff here in the United States who have accepted these oligarchs' money, and they accepted Russia's money, and they're accepting a lot of other folks' money and stuff because after a while, when you start interjecting money and stuff into anything, uh, you you start controlling what's going on. We have billionaires and stuff in this country who have taken their money and everything and used it to buy our political officials and everything. And I, I I believe that this country, as far as what we knew of it uh, 20, 30, 40 years ago, is making a change. It's making a turn here, and where we go from here, it's going to be difficult to say. But one thing that I think that we kind of missed here in this whole thing, and I remember President Obama making a very passionate speech and stuff about what happened. And there was a Supreme Court case called Citizens United. And we never knew. I don't even believe that President Obama and stuff really realized the magnitude of what their decisions and stuff has made to our country. And I'm pretty sure that when history starts cataloging this country and stuff, 40 years and everything, are going to look back on that decision and stuff and realize that that decision by our Supreme Court made was one of the worst decisions that our one of the judicial branches and stuff of our country could have made. And that was when it allowed unlimited amounts of money to be used in our elections and stuff in this country. Ever since that decision happened, there has been a U-turn being made and stuff, and how elected officials and stuff are being elected, what's going on with our representation and stuff in Congress and everything. That money, that flow of unfeathered, uncategorized money has destroyed our democracy. And the magnitude of what it has done and everything now is just unheard of. And we still have no idea and stuff where this money and stuff is going to, because it is going to continue to flow into this country. And um, and I don't believe that anyone has the political will to stop it right now, whether it's the judicial branch of the government, whether it's the legislative branch of the government, or the executive branch of the government, because it's like a cancer. It has infected this country, and we're at a point and stuff and everything to where it has metastasized into total destruction of this body that we call our democracy. We can add a lot of other people's names and stuff in here, along with the National Rifle Association. There's a lot of other organizations out there and companies and billionaires and millionaires and stuff and everything who are in collusion and everything with the Russians and stuff, being allowed to come in and have unfettered control and stuff over our democracy. So I don't know what to say. It's just I don't know. I don't know. It's gonna take a lot of will by a lot of good people and stuff and everything to stop what the heck is going on, because that decision and stuff that was made and stuff there, you can take it, and everything that we see going on in our country and stuff right now can stem from what happened and stuff there. So, all along with our economy and stuff, what's going on now, and people like you were talking about this insider trading and stuff that's going on.
Well, let me just, I'm going to show you it's starting right now. It started in November. What they're doing is, uh, a lot of people are buying their own stocks back. People are investing. A lot of people are coming back to the stock market in a big way. But a lot of these corporations are buying into their own stock. The money that comes in, all they're doing is just buying their own stock and buoying it up. And one of the things that is being investigated is Intel. The CEO actually sold $20 million worth of his shares. He just got right out and took it out, 24 million, gave himself a bonus of $24 million. And then come to find out that Google found out that his software had a bug in it.
It wasn't Google who found out now. It wasn't, I can get this straight now. It wasn't Google who found this out. It was some 20-year-old kid who started that whole thing to let people and stuff know that they had one of their processors and stuff and everything had a fault and stuff in it that hackers and stuff could hack into. And Google just happened
to 20-year-old kid.
Yeah, a 20-year-old kid found out that there was a flaw and stuff in their microprocessor. And he was the one that first started that whole thing going on. And there's a bug and stuff in their systems and stuff and everything that hackers out there are exploiting inside their microprocessor. So there was a 20-year-old kid who did it, and he just happened to tell Google about it. He went online because Google has a program out there.
Well, they should have paid that kid.
They did. Anytime you find a flaw and stuff, Google automatically has a fund that's set aside for anyone and stuff who finds a flaw and stuff in anything that's going on out there in our computerized system and the internet and anything that goes on out there. Google is right on top of it. And if you find something out, then you can get up to a $50,000 reward and stuff immediately. No questions asked if what you say is true. And what happened and stuff was when he found it out, he just immediately told went online and told Google about it and everything. And Google went out and looked at it and quickly did their research on it and found out that this kid was right. And so and the devastating part of this whole daggone thing was that it had a monster effect upon Apple's systems and stuff and everything, because they are all of their hardware and stuff is totally uh, invested into Intel, and they have Intel products and stuff in every one of their products, the consumer products that they are selling and stuff out there. So they Apple had to come along and really make a quick fix and everything and stuff to what was going on. And it's not something that we are very proud of and stuff, because I'm in the Apple ecosystem and everything, and every time I get a update the stuff from Apple and stuff, I always make sure that I put it on my iPad and my iPhone and my Macs and my Mac laptops and everything. So uh, it's a mess and stuff going on out there. And surprisingly, I'm pretty sure that Intel CEO knew that this stuff was coming on, and he probably had heard about it and stuff, and his people probably told him, "Hey, this stuff is true." So he immediately knew that it was going to affect their stock prices and stuff and everything. So, like you said, he took advantage of us, us folks and stuff who
gave himself a $24 million raise. Gave himself a $24 million raise. And
yeah, man, and those things happen and stuff, Ted. These people and stuff, they know that they getting ready to lose, millions of dollars and stuff and stock prices and stuff. So they take advantage of it. We lost a congressman and stuff and everything from Tom Price, Dr. Tom Price, because he was doing insider trading and stuff there, and he was abusing his position and stuff and his job and everything. So there's a lot of that stuff going on, and I'm surprised that I did not see that about the CEO. That kind of slipped by me, but I do know that that Intel thing came from the 20-year-old kid. He was out there doing some work and stuff on it, and Google gave him that check.
I've just been waiting. I've just been waiting on, to be quite honest with you, when the profit taking is. It was a little bit going on last week. The stock market went down a few points, then it jumped right back up because the different sectors, buoy it back up. But it's a little bit of profit taking is being taken place, but they're doing it in a sort of kind of methodical way, sort of kind of like this sector is taking a little money, this sector is taking a little profit, because a lot of these retirement accounts and what have you investing heavily in all of these different types of sectors. And so a lot of profit taking is going to be taking place, I believe, in the next 2 or 3 months. And because right now, it went up as high as 26,000. And it's, and all the things that I've said is going to go up to about 30. But the question is, it's going to go up to about 30, but when is it going to tank? And how is it going to tank? And why is it going to tank? And the only reason why I can see where it's going to tank is that if it's, to be quite honest with, something catastrophic happens. And, and what that means is, another stupid war, and then it'll go down and then it'll come back up, because we know that war, creates money. For some reason.
Yeah, the military generates a whole lot of money out there, almost like back in the 60s and 70s and stuff, when the auto industry and stuff was out there, that they control a lot of things going on in the stock market, and then the oil control a lot of things in the stock market or whatever. Anytime you had a blip and stuff in the oil thing, that sent the stock market all crazy. But I do believe in stuff here that a lot of people and stuff now who are sitting up there on Wall Street and a lot of those stockbrokers or whatever, they are, just like you said, they are watching what's going on and stuff intently, because most of them know that this market and stuff and everything is eventually going to fall out. It is not going to be able to stand with what's going on and stuff there, and there's always going to be some time when that thing is going to fall, and they are trying to figure out when that stuff is going to happen. So this CEO from Intel, he saw that little glitch there and he took advantage of it. So I'm pretty sure a lot of them looking at their stock prices and stuff. People who are in Google, people who are in Apple, they are watching that stock market. That's what's going
Amazon.
on. Amazon, yeah. Jeff Bezos and everything, he just went over that $100 billion mark, you know, as far as being the richest person in the world now. He's taken over that spot. And, you know, Amazon stock
And they're
is
gonna come after
constantly
him.
going up.
You know they're gonna come after him.
What's that?
They're gonna come after Jeff Bezos. They coming after him, man.
Well, old Jeff got enough money there that he probably ain't even worried about him now. He done stashed away a lot of his cash.
Oh yeah. I remember a year ago, a couple of years ago, he pulled out almost $1 billion just like that.
Absolutely, he hides his money very, very well, and he makes damn sure that he got a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, plan D, you know. And I don't know if you, and this is off the subject and stuff here and everything, but you know, Amazon bought out Whole Foods.
Oh yeah. We
And
talked about that.
Whole Foods and everything now, for some reason or another, it's not doing very well. There are a lot of people and stuff who are looking at Whole Foods now, and I think that when Jeff bought out Whole Foods and stuff, he had something in mind and stuff when he bought that company out. But right now, they are not doing very well as far as customer service, as far as products and stuff that they have. And they're showing pictures and stuff and everything of these Whole Food stores where there's shelves and stuff there that no food is on it.
Yeah.
The shelves in the stores is empty. And even though this thing only may be going on in 5 or 10 or maybe a few of those stores in certain regions or whatever, there's a problem there going on. And if Jeff and his boys don't fix that and everything, they can lose a lot of money and stuff in that acquisition of Whole Foods if they don't get that thing straightened out. And I'm pretty sure that Bezos is really on top of his folks and stuff and asking them to get this thing straightened out and find out what the heck's going on.
Well, I can tell you exactly what the problem is because Whole Foods is based on people that do natural farming, gardening and what have you, and you have to have those relationships with those individuals. And then you're talking about the weather effect that's been going on all throughout the country. And so therefore, where you're going to get fresh fruits and vegetables from, when you got all of this devastation that's been going on all over California, here in Florida, and wherever else, so you have to replace those, I mean, I don't know about you, but, I try to go to different markets and what have you. And man, I'm going to tell you, I buy a bunch of lemons, I always like to put lemons in my stuff. And I'm going to tell you, man, things as small as it's like half the size, what they normally be. The grapefruits are like the size of an apple, and if you look at the different things, and and nowadays they trunk in the bananas, from different parts of the country, and so it's affecting, the weather is affecting all the different fruits and vegetables, and you got some of these people that they have in-house gardening, they cover it up and they got their own fertilizer and the whole thing, and those people. But a lot of these whole food people, they saying, hey, we're just going to sell, directly to the customer, and if they don't pay them correctly, because see, it costs a lot of money to buy these different types of vegetables and fruits and cucumbers and tomatoes and all of that. And a lot of people spend a lot of time growing their stuff, and they want to be paid correctly, So it's not like you got, just a tomato place, all these big farmers that's doing that, they out of luck because, you got hurricanes, you got freezing weather.
Oh man, you don't talk about freezing weather, man. I'm here in Atlanta, buddy, and we've been having some horrible weather and stuff down here, man. The snow is on the ground, and I left Chicago area almost 20 years ago and everything, expecting to come down here, and and have good weather all the time. But man, what's going on now here, it is just unheard of. In the last month and a half, 2 months, we've already had 2 snowstorms that came through here. And I have never seen this down in this area, snowstorm going on. It is just, man. So I have no idea what's going on. And like you said, down in Florida, they got snow and all this other stuff going on down there and real cold weather and stuff. When it gets into the 30s and stuff into Florida, man, you got problems and stuff going on. So,
Oh yeah.
and then you're looking at California and stuff, and they just had all those fires and stuff that happened. And then and now they got those mudslides going on. So
and it destroyed basically the wine industry.
Hmm.
So who knows what people that drink wine like myself. I like a good glass of wine occasionally, and so therefore, that's going to go up. Everything is going to go up. I mean, it's just because of the weather conditions in the last year.
So man, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Expect that.
Has something to do with it. And what about your we go into this next topic here, because time is rolling by here, Ted. You're over there, your third item that you were talking about, this over there, the country of Syria.
Syria is in, they're getting better, but what's happening is that a lot of people have fled Syria because of the war zone. But I was reading an article the other day, not too long ago, that Tillerson wants Assad out.
He wants to do what?
He wants Assad out. Now the Russians want Assad to stay. So now that's what's going on. Now I'm trying to figure out, why are we involved over there in Syria? And I guess because you get all of these different so-called terrorists that's gathering there, but it's a reason why they want them, and why Russia wants them. Now, I understand that they have some resources there, and I don't know. I don't know why Syria is so important to the United States. I just don't get it. And maybe that's just another country that we want to take over or be in charge with to put our military in.
Well, I tend to believe in stuff that Rex Tillerson, who is the past president CEO of Exxon, who did a whole lot of business and stuff and everything while he was a CEO of Exxon with Putin and Russia's huge utility combine and stuff over there that deals with a lot of oil and gas and stuff there. And Tillerson had a lot to do with it. Why he is over there messing with Syria and stuff, your guess is good as mine. It could be because of Israel. We have to all the time look at the fact that anytime that the United States goes over there, interferes with anything over there in that region and stuff, Israel is probably behind it. And I'm pretty sure that old Benny Netanyahu and everything has got his hands and stuff in that daggone pie. And I do believe that this country and stuff and everything is got a tiger by the tail and stuff over there as far as their foreign policy and stuff, because of their total commitment and everything to old Benny. And tying your foreign policy on the tails of Israel can be a man. It's not very good as far as what's going on and stuff in that country, because every president, even behind Obama and Bush, and all of them have foreign policy over there that they have to teeter and stuff there. You don't go over there and try to bash them folks in the head, because once you do that and everything, you're going to create some problems that shockwaves over there that is just horrible. And so, like you said, Russia wants the side to stay in power for whatever reason that they want them to stay in power, and why Tillerson is over there now telling Syria to get rid of Assad, and they've been trying to get rid of Assad for a long time. Even Obama administration been trying to get rid of him, and they have not been successful in doing it. That
And
man
he's
is still
murdering
over
a
there
lot
in
of his
power.
own people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons, because he's very, I don't know, it's crazy. But I was just looking while you were talking, and who we at odds with in this country of different places. Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Iran, Russia, China,
Don't
and
forget North Korea.
oh yeah, and North Korea. I don't want to forget about that, because now when you think about, if you think about the complex, China and Russia is working with North Korea. I understand that.
So what you're saying then, Mr. Harvey, is that China and Russia are violating the sanctions that the UN has placed against North Korea.
Absolutely. And
Oh,
nothing
okay.
is
I just
happening.
want to make
Nothing is
sure that
being
that's
said.
clear to our audience
Nothing is
that
being
that's
said.
what's going on.
Nothing is being said. And we're still over in Iraq. We're still over in Afghanistan. And now we're building up, and it's been sort of kind of low key. But, I think that with this agreement that we had with Iran, that right there is going to be a big issue this year, because everything was in place. They were happy. Uh, when President Obama gave them their own money, that's supposed to have been their money that they had over here.
$20 billion.
Yeah, and they made a big deal of it, like we was just paying somebody off, but that was their own money that President Obama gave them back, and they made the deal to get all of this, to get this agreement in place, which was, we know, is temporary, but at the same time, at least it was some kind of relief as far as having a rogue nation, or supposed to be a rogue nation, not getting any kind of military high explosive ammunition, you know,
Nuclear,
nuclear
nuclear weapons.
nuclear weapons. So the bottom line is that when you look at these countries, and here we are, 340 million strong, or some people say 320, whatever. The bottom line is, at any time, you got the power. You got Russia, don't even have a whole lot of uh, money, but they use all of their money to spread all over the world to infiltrate. You got China, who has a population, and they, when you look at their GDP, they like at $12 trillion a year. They predict that they're going to surpass United States when it comes to GDP.
Mm-hmm.
So, and right now we at 18, 19 trillion.
Well, I think, Ted, that we as a country has started, well, we did it back in the 60s and stuff and everything when we had our Cold War with Russia. Russia's always been our opponent and stuff out there, and whatever was going on, and there was a military buildup of nuclear weapons. And then all of a sudden, once the country fell and supposedly a democracy took over and everything, and then Putin came into power and everything, we have been very, very slow uh, in our assessment and stuff of our power, where that power comes from. And like you said, Russia doesn't have a whole lot of money. They don't have a whole lot of other things, but they got one thing that going for themselves that we have not realized and stuff and everything. And then we are very, very, very slow to start taking advantage of this, is that we have gone from a nuclear standoff and everything with these countries and everything to cyber war. We're no longer talking about hardware anymore. We're no longer talking about how many ships that we should have or how many jet planes that we should have and all the other stuff, because we're spending a lot of money and stuff on all these hardware things when our war has not, it has moved from hardware to software. And that's where this stuff is going, and that's where China, that's where Russia, and a couple of other countries and stuff are moving into. They're moving into that cyber war and stuff, and we haven't realized that that's where it's at now. We're not spending our money and stuff into that cyber warfare. We're spending our money into hardware.
Wait a minute. It was now I don't know if it went through or not because I haven't followed up on it, but I know that they had already set aside $19 billion for cyber.
Not enough money.
It's not enough.
Not enough money.
19 billion is not enough.
Not enough.
So in other words, we must don't have the people.
Absolutely.
See, this is where this is my thing. You know, you're an IT guy, sort of. You know what's going on, as far as that. It should be an all-out war on teaching people how to code. Young people going into these schools and teaching them all kinds of computer science information. It should be a requirement because out of that group is going to be geniuses. Out of that group is going to be people that are extremely smart because you don't know what you don't know until you learn it. And you don't know what you're interested in until you learn it. And so there are people that's out there that love computers and want to know the mechanism of behind the scenes and what's going on, but they're not being taught in the schools. There are people all over the country right now. There are people learning at 10 years old how to code and how to, do different things. So I don't think we're utilizing our younger people to learn all of these different things, and we're behind the curveball because what are we doing? We're recruiting people from other nations to work in our cyber warfare. That's what they're doing.
And that's why I told you that $19 billion is not enough money. That's one of the reasons why I told you $19 billion is not enough money. We should be putting as much money into our cyber warfare as we're putting into the military right now. And you're talking close to $500 billion.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to disagree with that because
that money should be going into a cyber warfare, because if you notice, Russia is not investing a whole lot of money in military power anymore. China is not investing a whole lot of money into military power anymore. Their military power comes from these small complexes and stuff and everything that they got these people in there, just like you said, who are coders, who are taking over and trying to find out where is the weakness and stuff in our society,
in this corporation,
or
that corporation, or that system,
and how to hack these our financial system and stuff. Whereas you're talking about Wall Street, they have found out how to hack into these places and stuff and everything and take money out of there.
You just don't know.
Money and stuff wherever they need to take it to. And once you start messing with somebody's financial power, you weaken that country up real bad, as we saw in 2008 when we had our stock market crash and stuff. It devastated this daggone country. They got involved into our finances.
That's right.
I repeat again, we need to get rid of our hardware ideas and start getting into that software. And like you said, it starts out in our educational system, and we are not educating our children at all to deal with what the heck is getting ready to come on, what is here and what is down the road and stuff and everything. And it's not going to get any better. It is going to get worse, because as so goes your schools, so goes your neighborhood.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I mean, it's been a push. A lot of people are trying to push it and what have you, as certain organizations and nonprofits, you got a lot of people that realize that, you have to learn all of these different mechanisms and coding and things, behind the scenes in the computer world, and dealing with that software and all kinds of things, but in programming. However, in certain communities, they're not doing it. And so anyway, that's my 2 cents on that, but
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
and all while we're doing this and we're talking about all this other stuff and everything, uh I find my all that Ted, it's just horrible and stuff what I see going on and stuff out there, and I get hyped up and happy, and my whole body just gets oh man, what the heck, where are we going, where are we going? But there's something out there that we use and stuff, and we talk about every week and stuff when we have our thing, and that's our peace that we have to have and stuff inside of us,
Oh
and it
yeah,
comes from
absolutely.
our belief in what's going on there in the Bible. You have to find some place where you can find peace, and that's mostly where we find our peace at. And
Well, one of my scriptures in Big Connection, the Big Connection, believing God connection, is Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. Watch. That word watch is to observe, to acknowledge, you should be looking at geopolitics, national, domestic, everywhere, what's going on, because it affects your life. And that means you should be, while you're watching, you should be praying for the betterment of mankind. I really believe that prayer works when we ask God to help us so that we can be a better person, that this nation can be a better nation, the city, the neighborhood, the world. And there are so many good people out there, but there are so many evil people that's selfish and all they care about is themselves. But at the same time, it's more good than bad, way more good than bad. And so if we continue to just watch and pray and realize when you see bad, pray about it. A lot of times you can't do anything about it. The only thing you can do is pray and ask God to help us and give us the strength. And somebody that can do good, God would use that person to do good. That's what I believe.
Absolutely, absolutely, Ted, because I got a lot of computerization and stuff going on here in my home. All around me and stuff. There's computers, I got my iPhone and I got all this other stuff, these smartphones or whatever. And what I do and stuff, and then what my wife does and stuff in the morning, we get up and we have our prayer in the morning so we can start our day out very well. We start our day out with prayer, and we also start it off with a healthy meal, breakfast. Everybody should realize that you cannot function and stuff very well out there in this world without getting up and making sure that your body is healthy and that your mind is healthy. And I deal with my mind through prayer, and I deal with my body through eating healthy foods.
And exercising.
And exercise too, yeah, and exercise. But we do make sure that every morning that we have a healthy meal, oatmeal or something like that. And you need to have that because that gets your day and stuff started off, and that gets them involved into our health and stuff and everything. And I know we have a segment and stuff here in our
holistic
program
health
about
thing is
holistic health here and everything. And some of those things, Ted, that you be telling me about that I should be doing. Man,
it's a lot of crazy. It's a lot of a lot of stuff you can do, man. I can tell you so many things that makes you feel better, makes you feel good. But the one thing that I'm a coffee drinker. I
Yeah,
love to
I
drink
am too.
nice,
In the morning.
nice, so I said, what, how is coffee good for you or what's going on? So I did a little research on it. Here's what the Mayo Clinic says about caffeine. It says that if you drink more than 5 to 6 milligrams of caffeine a day, it leads to insomnia, nervousness, restlessness, upset stomach, and it creates a fast heartbeat, even muscle tremors. But here's the deal. Now, most of us don't know what 400 millimeters, 600 millimeters. But according to them, if you drink up to 400 millimeters, that's equivalent to about 4 cups of coffee. Okay. 400 millimeters is equivalent to 4. I don't drink 4 cups of coffee. I might drink 2. Most of the time, I just stay to 1 cup of coffee. But also it's equivalent to, and I got off of sodas a long time ago, but 10 cans of cola or 2 energy shot drinks.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I don't know if it's true or not, but in that book of what did it say, Fiery, what is it, Fury and Fire?
Mm-hmm.
They said that number 45 drinks nothing but Cokes all day.
Well,
I don't see how he survived.
That goes to show you that how he is keeping his health, because he had his annual physical and everything, and the doctor stated that he is the healthy and he's going to be okay and all that. But you're right. How in the heck can you consume that much caffeine and stuff every day and still be able to function and stuff and everything? Because even if if he's getting up to that maximum amount of caffeine and stuff or whatever, if you start continuing to take your body up there and filling up your body with all that caffeine and stuff, it's going to build up inside of your different parts of your body. And like you said, my wife and I, we don't buy Coke. We don't buy pop. Our pop is not in our house. Matter of fact, we don't even buy a lot of juice in our house. One thing we have is milk and water, stuff like that. That's about it. And if you
Get me
notice and
started
stuff,
with
and
milk.
I don't know
Get me
if our
started with
audience,
milk.
yeah, anybody who notices and stuff and everything, every now and then you will see me reaching over and grabbing a cup. One of those cups and stuff has water in it, and I drink a lot of water every day.
That's good. That's good. Water is good.
I drink a lot of water every day. But we do
Hey,
have to
one
have
of
our
the
milk.
things
We do have to have our milk, Ted, because women and stuff have to have that vitamin D and everything to keep for their calcium and to keep their bones and stuff strong. Because I'm looking at my mother-in-law and stuff here now, and her bones and everything is so bad that she is bent over just like that, and she can't even hold her head up. So,
well, there's other ways that you can get calcium
yeah,
than milk.
Yeah.
Because
but go ahead. We won't get into that.
I want to go there. But the one thing that I want to talk about, and we're pretty much running out of time here, but the media. I really want to talk about the media. What is going on with the media? Because I can't really watch it anymore, really, to be honest with you. I mean, I might watch a few shows here and there, that I'm interested in because I know that they're going to give me facts, and good information. But the news media, man, is gone 45 crazy. I mean, is there any, what's going on with the economy? What's going on in this city? What's going on in that city? In order for me to find out any information, I got to go on my computer to find out what's going on here and what's going on there. It's like crazy. You listen to the local news, they'll say a little bit of something, but mostly it's just special interest stories. They might do 15 minutes of what happened last night or whatever. And then next thing you know, they're talking about special interest stories or, and they'll take 5 minutes talking about the weather. So, and I'm trying to figure out places like CNN, MSNBC, all our national, cable news and national news, all they want to talk about is 45. Why? I know it's ratings. I know that. I know it's
Yeah,
money coming in.
yep, it's
That's
rated.
but the bottom line is though, come on, man. American people deserve more than that.
Yeah.
They deserve more than that.
Well, I don't believe in what Trump is talking about with this fake news stuff, but I think that along with us looking at his ideas and stuff about fake news and stuff and everything, is that he uses that as a way of telling people that anything you hear and you see on our national news and stuff is fake news. I don't believe it's fake news. I do believe it's just like you said. It's a it's an obsession with 45. They are obsessed with it, and they believe that their obsession and stuff with 45 is driving their market and everything, and their market share and where they're at and stuff and everything with getting news out there. And the faster that they can get news out there about 45, it makes them, it drives up their numbers and stuff, which also drives up the monies and stuff that they bring in as far as revenue, ads and stuff that they have. And if you look at a lot of our news programs and stuff now, we used to see probably within an hour show about 40 minutes maybe of just pure news. But now when you look at those stations and stuff and everything, you're probably getting 30 minutes of news because the other 30 minutes is spent on ads,
Yep.
advertisement
Yep.
to bring in that money. So they drive you to their stations and stuff with the news about 45 because you want to hear about our president, whether they're obsessed with the good news about the president, or they obsessed with the bad news about the president and everything, or the fact that they're talking about the president, the people who voted for him, his core group who voted for him. They just want to listen to him so they can say, "Oh yeah, they lying about our president," so they're gonna watch him, and then they hold you. They are, well, we'll be right back, and we're going to be talking about this. So they hold you there to listen to their stuff and everything while you sit there and be consumed with ad dollars that they're bringing in.
Mm-hmm.
It is to get that market share, man. That's it. It's driven by that market share, and like you said, there's other things that are more important to the American public than 45. Other things that is going on other than 45. Right now and stuff, we have a shutdown. Our government and stuff is in an official shutdown. Right now and stuff, you have the DNC and you have the Republican committee and stuff. All of them and stuff are in a disarray. And I know that one of those things that we probably want to talk about real quick is about the DNC that you had brought up and stuff and everything, and what's going on with the Democratic National Committee and how they are faring and stuff out there with their new chairman and what he is doing and how he is affecting what's going to be going on. Because, like you said, we got an election coming up here in the next uh, 10 months.
Yep.
And midterm elections is coming up in the 10 months. And so it very quickly down the road here and stuff, we're going to have to start doing something and everything to figure out and stuff who are going to be our representatives and stuff there in Congress, because a lot of people haven't looked at it and everything because they're so obsessed with 45, but they're already up to, I think, 35 Republican representative House people and stuff who have resigned, who are saying that they are not running for office again. So there's
Yeah.
35 seats and stuff that are open. What are we going to do about them? Are the Republicans going to continue to have those seats, or are the Democrats going to be able to come in and take over those seats and stuff and take over Congress? We don't know. But if we're looking at what's going on in our DNC, it doesn't look very well. And part of the news and stuff that I picked up and everything through my research and stuff, because I look on, I'm get up in the morning and I read my Bible for a look at a little bit. I have my little breakfast, and then I get down there, buddy, and I'm into finding out about news. I get my news feed, and one of the things that I found out that I was just, man, it just knocked me over, was that there are 2 House seats and stuff there in the state of California
Yep.
that belong to Republicans. And come to find out, the Democrats don't even have a candidate running in those 2 districts. How are you going to take the House back when you have holes in how you are dealing with what's going on out there? You are not looking at the basic stuff that it takes to win. And one of the basic stuff to win is having a candidate and stuff in every district. And you're talking about going, winning the power there to be, getting the speaker's seat and everything, and you can't even get candidates and stuff, or have not realized that you don't have a candidate running and stuff in that district. So I don't know what's going to happen and stuff there. You know, everybody in the Democratic Party, along with Nancy Pelosi and the minority person stuff there in the Senate, Chuck Schumer and everything, they all have to take responsibility and stuff for these shortfalls and stuff to come in, because they don't have people and stuff on board and everything to be ready to take advantage of a weakness and stuff in your game. When you play chess, you better have your game tight. And if it's not tight and stuff, somebody's going to come in there and take your king. So that has to do with, I have no idea, like you said, what's going on with the DNC. I have no idea what's going on there. And I do know that we are in a government shutdown. And right now, our government is sitting there without any money to run. And so at midnight, all of our government employees knew that they didn't have a job. And what do? I don't believe Trump knows. The 45 and his people in the White House know what the heck to do. They have no idea. They can't even control their own stuff. You know, they have so many people and stuff there who have left the White House in the last year. It is unbelievable. The numbers and stuff is just unbelievable. There has never in the history of this country had that much turnover, at least in the modern history of this country. There are many people who have left the executive branch of government that fast. And those jobs are not being filled, which is going to hurt us down the road.
Yep.
I mean, it's already brought forth a weakness and stuff and everything, and it's going to be a
dedicated people. The thing is, though, man, you have dedicated people that care about this country. Yeah, they make their little living and they have their little retirement set up and all of that. However, there are people that are out there that are professionals. They care about this country in different departments all over this country. You know, the CDC, you know, and different, all kind of hospitals and people that care about our safety and all of that. And they are not fulfilling. And even look at the diplomats that they haven't even fulfilled all over the world.
Look at the scientists and stuff who have left the EPA. Yeah. They have been brilliant minds, man, as far as the chemical industry and what's going on.
Absolutely.
There, who have left the EPA. They said they cannot deal with this anymore, and they left. They took their brilliance and moved on to a corporate world or whatever, and to be used and stuff in some nefarious way other than doing something for our public. You know, we have all of our water systems and stuff and everything, and that thing that happened in Flint, Michigan, buddy, is just a tip of the iceberg as far as
that right there, the tip of the iceberg.
It's the tip of the iceberg.
Well, let me switch gears right quick, and it's not switching gears. It's sort of kind of like one of the things. I haven't read this book, but there's a guy that's been following 45 for almost 30 years. This year will be 30 years. And he's been writing about him ever since. And his name is David Cave, C-A-Y. I guess that's how you pronounce it, Johnson. And the name of the book
I know little old David K. He's a son of a gun, buddy.
It's even worse. The name of the book is Even Worse Than You Think, What the Trump Administration is Doing to America. I heard him speak, man, and this guy, it's sad, man, the way he says that Trump is and the way things are and how they're going. However, this is what I got out of it at the end. If, and we were talking about the DNC, if the Democrats take over the House, Nancy, and they get Pence along with Trump, convict Trump, put him in jail because of all the collusions and illegal things that he's been doing, money laundering and all of that, and put Nancy Pelosi as president. And she makes a statement saying, I'm only temporary until the next election, and then you choose your president. I'm just sitting in. That's the way he put it. And so basically,
don't forget that along with the House and stuff who brings charges on them, the actual trial is in the Senate. So if you don't have control of the Senate, then you're not going. They can convict them all they want, but they'll never have a trial.
That's true. That's true. And where's the hustle? Where's the hustle for DNC? Where's the hustle?
I don't know. It's something else, man. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. A lot of things dealing in the nuance and stuff of what's going on, and the preparations and stuff. And we look at.
You can't keep on asking for money and then don't do nothing.
Absolutely, all they want is that money, and then once you get the money, what you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, Ted, but I probably get maybe 60 emails and stuff a day begging for money.
I get a half a dozen.
I need $5. I need $3. I need $5. I need $3. I mean, people from all over the country, from House seats, from senatorial candidates, from everybody, from governorships or whatever, from the DNC to the DCCC and all of them. Everybody is begging for money. And I just,
what they need to
when
do
I
is
see them, I delete their emails because I'm not giving them a dime.
Yeah, they need to get out there and get volunteers that believe in their cause and what they're going to do and stick to what they say they're going to do, and then get these volunteers to go around knocking on doors and speaking up for them and representing them, because money is not everything, you know. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's part of it. We know that, you know, because it takes money to run a campaign.
Absolutely. And don't forget what the heck happened, because you and I were talking about that yesterday or the other day about Black Lives Matter. Mm-hmm. And how
George
Soros and everything gave them
33 million.
and now Black Lives Matter and stuff is gone away. They just got that money, and we gave all this money, and now we don't even hear anything from Black Lives Matter at all.
That's all it takes, a little money to shut you up. You know,
money corrupts. Money can close your mouth real quick.
And then when I need you, then you come out.
Yeah. Well, Ted, we came to the end of our road today, man. I am just excited about what we got going on for 2018. And I'm hoping that we get this other segment and stuff that we got going on. We're looking at and putting doing some audio conversations and stuff out there for our people and stuff to listen to on their
hard and heavy. Hit hard, heavy, and
phones. Fast. Yeah, so look for us and stuff in the very, very near future and stuff to start putting out audios and stuff on our Facebook page and also on our website and our blog site, and out there on our YouTube at Ted Ed TV. So hopefully artists and stuff will come out there and they will pick up our audio, and while they're driving around in their cars and stuff in the morning, they can listen to the Ted and Ed TV show on audio.
All right.
Okay.
Everything sounds great, and I'm looking forward to that. And then also, I'm looking forward to our definitely our show on Saturdays, because I look forward to that because it's so much information. And if we do a daily thing, I would love to do a daily thing where we can keep up with this stuff, because it's just it's so much. We can talk for another hour.
Absolutely, but as we all know, we have other things going on, and Mr. Harvey
Yeah.
has a new thing called Papa Daycare. Well, one of these days we'll talk about Papa Daycare.
Okay.
Okay. And we want to say bye and sign off to our audience. So
All right. We'll see you
see
all
you
next
next
week.
week, Ted.
All right.